Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and blog. Today we're going to be taking a look at Tonic Studio's Nuvo creative pens as an alternative to Copic markers. Before we jump in, if you like today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up by clicking the little thumbs up button below here on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Also be sure to hit the little notification bell so you can be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Without further ado, let's hop into today's video. Nuvo creative pens are an alcohol-based marker that are very similar to Copic markers. However, they do have some differences. Copic sketch markers have a chisel tip and a brush tip. My Nuvo creative markers have a chisel tip and a bullet tip, which is similar to the original Copic markers. A single Copic marker can cost up to $7, while the Nuvo creative pens price up to $6 for a set of 3. I looked around and I'm not seeing that you can refill the Nuvo markers like you can Copics, nor can you buy the Nuvo markers individually. However, with the good sale, you can replace the full set for the same price as one single Copic marker. I feel as a beginner working with alcohol markers and looking for something less expensive than Copics, these are a great alternative and a great way to see if working with alcohol markers is something that you would like to do before investing in Copic markers. Nuvo creative pens come in a variety of colors and are available at the time in about 20 different color packs. Each pack contains 3 markers that will allow you to shade from lighter to darker. These sets that are currently available cover a wide variety of colors. Just like other alcohol-based markers, Nuvo creative pens also has a set that includes a blender pen, a black marker, and a light gray marker that is perfect for creating shadows around your images. One of the sets that's currently available is also a metallic set of markers. They're not an alcohol-based marker, so you can't blend the colors, but they do have some pretty colors like copper, silver, and gold, and I really just love the shine to these markers. Each of the markers are marked on the chisel end of the cap with the color swatch and a number to indicate the color. The barrel of the pen is oval-shaped, so you don't have to worry about it rolling away. The newer release of the pens has a color label on the barrel of the marker and shows what color the pen is, but the original release of these pens do not have any markings on the barrel to indicate what color the pen is. You have to be careful and not take too many caps off of the chisel end, or you'll have a hard time figuring out what cap goes with what marker. I used some label paper to swatch the colors for the original marker sets, and once the ink had dried, I used a mini circle punch and created a label for each marker. Since I wasn't using a cardstock that is alcohol ink friendly, I wrote the number of the marker on the label as well. I'm sure over time the color will fade on the label, and they may not always be a perfect match to the marker color when used on an alcohol ink quality cardstock, but at least it will help me keep track of the lids. I created ink swatches using my Nina cardstock and my ink swatch template. The first 3 squares in my template notes each color, and the last square is my blending of the 3 colors from that set. When I created my swatches, I wasn't sure on some of the color combinations and how they blended, but to be fair, I didn't put a lot of effort into blending them at the time. When stamping out images, you will want to use an ink that is either Copic or alcohol marker friendly, so that when you're coloring and blending with the alcohol marker, it doesn't smear your ink. I've used Memento Tuxedo Black ink, but I know Simon Says Stamp has a Copic friendly ink, as well as Gina K Designs and My Favorite Things, and I'm sure there are others I'm missing. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on how to blend, as I'm not an expert and consider myself at a beginner level, but I wanted to share I practiced playing with the sets and getting the feel of the markers. I started off practicing with my skin tones. The fair skin tone set started out a little orange looking at first, but once it dried and the color smoothed out, it was pretty close to what I normally would color with my Copics. I also played with combining a few colors from different sets to create more options. A simple version is just 2 markers, marker number 473 from the fair skin set and markers 472 from the cookies and cream set, also made a great skin combination. I also tried out 387 for my rosy cheeks on both of the practice images. I also wanted to see if I can create some hair color options using just a set of markers. The cookies and cream set made a beautiful auburn hair color with the lightest color used to create the highlights in the hair. The Stormy Sky collection didn't turn out how I hoped. The lightest color had too much of a green undertone to create a highlight in the hair. So I tried again, just using 2 marker colors and leaving white space to create the highlight, and that worked much better. I also played around with some of the colors that I didn't spend a lot of time with when blending in my color swatch sheets to see how they would look once I put the effort in. I found after a little bit of work they turned out pretty good and blended nicely. Some sets, like the yellow and coral reef collections, have colors that are pretty close in color, so each of the shades you really can't tell the difference between the 2 different colors when blending. I'm storing my practice sheets in my color swatch binder so I can go back and reference these images when I pull my markers out to play again. I will leave a link to my color swatch sheet below, as well as links to where you can purchase the supplies I used in today's video in the description below, as well as over on my blog. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you found it helpful. Here are 2 more videos you might enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.